You think you know Methuselah, the oldest man in history. A simple fact, a biblical trivia question. 969 years. A number so vast, it loses meaning. A historical anomaly, nothing more. But what if that number isn't just a number? What if it's a code, a hidden countdown embedded in plain sight for millennia? What if Methuselah's name, his asterisk's very existence asterisk, was humanity's most profound, most terrifying warning? Forget everything you think you know about longevity. This isn't about how long he lived. This is about asterisk. Why asterisk? This is about a cosmic clock, ticking down through the ages, hidden within the most famous lifespan in all of history. A secret whispered not through words, but through the very fabric of time itself. What if Methuselah's death was not an end, but a signal? The ultimate trigger for an event so cataclysmic, it reshaped the very surface of the earth. A prophecy, delivered not by voice, but by a life lived in silent, terrifying anticipation. Prepare to unlock the unseen clock. The truth of Methuselah's name is far more chilling than any legend. If you stay until the end, you'll discover the ominous prophecy hidden within his name and its shocking connection to the end of the world. Before the clock began its ominous count, there was only nothing, an abyss, formless, void, then a command, a breath, and the universe asterisk erupted, asterisk, not with a bang, but with a whisper of divine will. Light tore through the endless dark, a primal burst, illuminating the infinite expanse. Day 1. The very definition of existence was forged in that instant. Next, a division. Waters above, waters below, a firmament established, a canvas stretching across the cosmos. Day 2. The sky, a breathtaking dome, ready for celestial adornment. Then, the waters gathered, revealing dry land, mountains clawed skyward, valleys unfurled, and from the fertile earth, life erupted, grasses, herbs bearing seed, trees yielding fruit. Day 3. A vibrant green tapestry, breathing its first breath, a world of pristine, untamed beauty. The heavens were then adorned, sun, moon, and countless stars, each set with meticulous precision to govern day and night, seasons and years. Day 4. A cosmic clock, perfectly calibrated. And then, the oceans stirred, teeming with life, every creature of the sea, and the skies filled, birds soaring on new winds. Day 5. A symphony of motion, life blossoming in every dimension. Finally, the land itself teemed, beasts of every kind, and then humanity, forged in God's own image. Day 6. A pristine world, perfected, awaiting its stewards. But perfection, as we know, is fragile, and the clock, though silent, was already waiting. Imagine a world unscarred, a canvas of pure creation. This wasn't merely a garden, it was Eden, the heartbeat of existence. A whispered dream made manifest, where every leaf pulsed with an ancient, vibrant life. Every breeze carried a symphony of peace. Here, the first man, Adam, walked not just among trees, but giants heavy with fruit, streams shimmering with liquid light. Perfection, untouched, unblemished. Can we even fathom such innocence now? A sanctuary not built by hands, but breathed into being by the divine. But even in this flawless dawn, a shadow, unseen, waited. A choice, yet unmade, would shatter this fragile perfection. What would you sacrifice to return to such a place? Then came Eve, from Adam's own essence. A partnership, a mirror, two souls, intertwined in absolute harmony, given dominion over every living thing. Their purpose, to cultivate, to explore, to exist in unadulterated communion with their Creator. A bond forged in pure, unadulterated love. But even in paradise, boundaries exist. One command, simple, clear: do not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A single restraint in an expanse of boundless freedom, a solitary stark contrast to infinite possibility. Just one asterisk, a test of trust, a line drawn in the sand of eternity. The consequences of transgressing it, unspoken, yet heavy. They knew joy, they knew peace, they knew the profound weight of unearned grace. But they did not know the bitter taste of defiance, not yet. The serpent, however, knew, and it waited, patiently, its eyes colder than any stream, fixed on the very heart of their innocence. The stage was set for a rupture, a choice that would irrevocably alter the course of everything. The moment stretched, a chasm in time. Then, the reach, the grasp, the bite, a sound, small and insignificant, yet it tore through the very fabric of existence. The world shifted, not with thunder or lightning, but with a profound internal tremor. Their eyes snapped open, not to enlightenment, but to raw, searing shame, a betrayal of trust, a rejection of love, and in that instant, paradise became a cage. The immediate consequence, not death, as they might have imagined, but a death of innocence, a gnawing awareness of their nakedness. They scrambled, frantic for fig leaves, a pathetic attempt to cover a wound far deeper than skin. Then came the voice, Adam, where are you? Not a question of location, but of relationship, and with it the curse. The ground itself, once a benevolent provider, would now resist. Thorns, sweat, toil, a brutal, relentless struggle. For Eve, the pangs of childbirth. For Adam, the crushing weight of dominion over a broken world. Their perfect communion shattered, paradise lost. And the serpent, it would crawl on its belly, forever. A punishment, yes, but also a stark reminder of the injustice they had wrought. A world, once pristine, now groaning under the weight of their choice. But this was only the beginning of the darkness. The shadows were just starting to lengthen. Exiled, cast out from Eden's gates, Adam and Eve faced a world utterly transformed. The vibrant hues of paradise faded into a desolate, unforgiving landscape. Every step was a struggle, every breath a reminder of what they'd lost. But life, tenacious and cruel, continued. Children came. Cain, the firstborn, a farmer, his hands calloused by the reluctant earth. Abel, the younger, a shepherd, his days spent tending flocks. 2 brothers, 2 paths, and the first true test of humanity's broken heart. God called for an offering, a sacrifice. Abel, with a pure heart, brought the firstborn of his flock, the choicest fat portions, a gift of life. Cain, with a heavy hand, brought fruit from the earth, a meager portion, perhaps even begrudgingly. God looked upon Abel's offering with favor. Cain's, dismissed, an invisible, yet undeniable rejection, the sting of injustice, the burning fuse of envy. Cain's face darkened, his spirit curdled. He saw not God's discernment, but a personal affront, a cosmic insult. God warned him. Why are you angry? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it. A clear choice, redemption or ruin. But the poison had already seeped too deep. Cain spoke to Abel. Gentle words, perhaps, a walk in the field, and then the explosion. Rage unbridled, a primal scream, the first blood, spilled not by an animal, not by a predator, but by a brother's hand. The earth, already cursed, now drank the blood of innocence. A new kind of darkness had been unleashed, the ultimate injustice, and humanity would never be the same. Yet, Even in the shadow of Cain's horrific act, a flicker, a new beginning. Adam and Eve, heartbroken, were granted another son, Seth. His name, meaning appointed, carried the weight of a fresh start. He was the replacement for Abel, the lineage not entirely severed. Time, stretched and vast, began to unfold. Generations, living centuries, not mere decades, their lives like ancient trees, roots deep in the cursed earth, reaching for a distant, forgotten sky. Seth lived 912 years. His son Enoch lived 905. Then Canaan, 910 years. Mahalalel, 895. And Jared, who would live an astonishing 962 years. Each name, a whisper across the millennia. Each life, a testament to God's incredible enduring patience, a continuity, unbroken, spanning nearly 1,000 years per generation. Imagine the stories, the wisdom, the slow, deliberate march of humanity, growing, evolving, yet carrying the indelible stain of Eden's fall. What did they witness? What secrets did they hold? This was not merely a list of names. It was a lifeline, a deliberate, meticulous record, a thread of hope woven through the deepening darkness. But with Jared, something shifted. His son Enoch would break this ancient pattern. He would walk a path unlike any before him, a path that would challenge everything they understood about life, death, and the very nature of existence. And here the story gets really interesting. Enoch, his name. It echoes with an almost otherworldly resonance, a whisper from beyond the veil. Unlike all who came before him, who lived out their long, arduous lives and then, inevitably, died. Enoch's story holds a startling, terrifying distinction. The scriptures are stark, yet profound. Enoch walked with God for 300 years, and then he was no more, because God took him. No grave marker, no final gasping breath, just gone, vanished. What secret did he possess? What covenant was so absolute, so unique, that death itself was averted? Did he step into another dimension? Was it an ascension, or a warning, a pattern interrupt in the relentless march towards the grave? This wasn't merely a life, it was a premonition. Imagine the shock, the profound mystery. In a world where death was an absolute, a constant reminder of the fall, Enoch simply vanished. He bypassed the curse. He transcended the human condition, not through a dramatic act of heroism, but through a deep, intimate, unwavering walk with the divine. What did that walk entail? What secrets were whispered between man and maker? What profound connection allowed him to defy the universal decree? This wasn't an escape. It was an invitation, a testament to a relationship so pure, so complete, that the veil between worlds thinned and dissolved. Enoch became a living prophecy, a whispered possibility that communion with God could alter destiny itself. And this man, this enigmatic figure, had a son whose name, when finally understood, would unravel a secret far more ominous than Enoch's disappearance. Enoch, the man who walked with God. His legacy wasn't just his own miraculous departure. It was the future he left behind, embodied in his child. Imagine the weight of expectation on this new life. The son of a prophet, a man touched by the divine in a way no other had been. What kind of child would such a father raise? What destiny awaited him? The world held its breath. Not in a literal sense, perhaps, but in the quiet, collective anticipation that permeates any epochal shift. This was a lineage already marked by profound, terrifying events. The pristine beauty of creation, the agonizing fall, the blood-stained horror of fratricide, and now, divine translation. Each